Hi folks, HR Funk here, back with another recipe for guys who can't cook, and this one's going to be easy, it's going to be kind of fun, and it's going to taste great when we get all done. We're going to be making barbecued chicken breast, and I'm going to add a couple of more things to it so we have a complete meal by the time it's all done. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my baking pan, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil for two reasons. One, to keep the chicken breast from sticking, and two, because it adds a little flavor. Now you might be asking, why are we using a baking pan if this is going to be barbecue chicken breast? Reason being, these are very, very thick chicken breasts, so I'm actually going to bake them in the oven for a little bit to make sure they are cooked all the way through. I'm afraid if I just throw these right on the grill that the outside is going to be cooked and the inside is still not going to be done. That's always a risk you run with very thick chunks of meat, and I tend to get that a lot with chicken breasts. So I've put the olive oil in the pan, I've got the chicken breasts in the pan. Next, the pan is going to go in the oven. The oven is still warming up. I've got it set for 350 degrees. And I'm going to put the pan in there for probably about 45 minutes, just to let this get good and baked, or at least started to bake. And while I'm waiting for that, I just came in out of 90-degree heat, so I'm going to go back outside and jump in the pool for a little bit and cool off. Then when I come back in, we'll pull this out and we'll go on with the recipe. Okay gang, I just came back in from the pool. I may or may not have had myself an adult beverage while I was out there. By the way, one of the great things about this recipe is at this point, all you've done is throw some chicken breasts into the oven, then went and goofed off for 45 minutes or so. Later on, when your wife gets home, you can tell her all about how you slaved over a hot grill all day. Now, she's immediately going to know that's BS, but you'll be able to delude yourself into feeling like you got one over on her, so that's cool too. Anyway, back to our chicken breasts. It's been about 45 minutes and they've been baking away at 350 degrees. And it's important to keep the temperature low because you want the heat to go all the way through these very thick chicken breasts and cook them on the inside as well as the outside. If you turn the heat up too high, the outside is going to get done too quickly and the inside still won't be done. So how do we check the inside temperature? That is with a meat thermometer. If you ever wondered what these funny looking things are that are in the drawers at your home, this is a meat thermometer. And if you look down the side here, it's got different types of meat listed, and over here there are temperatures. And on this particular one, you have to follow the line from the meat to the temperature that shows you that it's done. And one of the things listed on here is poultry. It's right here, and it goes to somewhere in between, what is that, 160 and 170 degrees. So we stick the pointy end as close as we can to the middle of the meat that we're cooking, in this case the chicken breast. Then we watch the needle go up and we see where it stops and see if it makes it to that area where the poultry is supposed to be okay to eat. And it's slowing down, but it's continuing to climb. And it looks like it's going to be just about perfect. So we didn't overcook it on the outside or the inside, so it shouldn't get dry, but it's cooked enough so we shouldn't have to worry about eating it later on and then coming across some part in the middle that's not done. Let's go ahead and check the other one just to be thorough here. And I'm watching the needle. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the needle on the camera or not, but they are both in that area between 160 degrees and 170 degrees. This one is just about absolutely perfect, 165 degrees. So we'll be able to go out and cook them now on the grill to get the outside done the way we want it to, and we know the inside is going to be okay when we're ready to eat it later on. Now before we take it outside, I do want to put some salt and pepper on our chicken breasts. So I'm just going to grab some of this and throw it on here. Obviously this is to taste, so you can add more or less salt and pepper as you desire. There we go. These are ready to go out to the grill. Okay, gang, before we head out to the grill, I'm going to work on the next part of the meal, which is going to be a salad to go along with the barbecued chicken breast. And again, this is intended to be as easy as possible. Remember, I am not into the joy of cooking, I am into the joy of eating. When it comes to a salad, basically anything you can find in your house that's green or relatively green can probably go into a salad. I'm going to start out with some lettuce. And by the way, this is kind of coarsely chopped lettuce, so I'm using my secret chef's tool here, which is a pair of scissors, just to make this all a little bit smaller. By the way, I love scissors when it comes to cutting down anything. I've mentioned before, I hate dicing, I hate slicing. There went a leaf on the floor. Oh well, I'll get that later. But anything basically that's tedious or time consuming or whatever, I don't like to do. So if I can come up with a way to do it faster, that's exactly what I do. The easiest thing, of course, would be to just buy some shredded lettuce. But this should be fine by the time I get done with it. And how's that look? I think that'd be a good start. Next, I'm going to add some broccoli. Again, I'm going to be using my special chef's tool. And obviously, whatever vegetables you like, put in. If you don't like broccoli, don't put it in, clearly. But I do like broccoli. And you see what quick work my secret chef's tool makes of the broccoli. Alright, that's probably enough broccoli. I'll throw in a couple more things, like a few leftover cherry tomatoes. There go the tomatoes. I like some mushrooms. Another secret ingredient is some bacon. I actually made this morning when I made breakfast, and I'm once again going to employ my chef's tool here. And of course, before you eat this, you can put whatever type of dressing on there you like. If you don't like dressing, don't put any dressing on. I'll probably throw a few croutons on there right before I eat. I don't want to put them on now because I don't want them to get soggy between now and the time supper is actually ready. Okay, gang, this is where things start to get cool. I started my grill a while ago. It's good and warm right now. So I am going to put my gigantic chicken breast right in the middle and close this up, and hold on just a minute while I show you what we'll do next. So remember, this is barbecued chicken breast, so I am going to apply a healthy dose of this sugar-free Sweet Baby Ray's to the chicken breast. And of course, you can use whatever barbecue sauce you like. If you don't like barbecue sauce, you don't have to use any. If you'd rather just have chicken breast seasoned with salt, pepper, or whatever other spices or seasoning you like, you can do that. But I like this barbecue sauce, and I am going to try to get it all over the chicken breast. And this part, or this amount maybe I should say, is going to cook onto the chicken breast itself. In a little bit, I'll flip it over and put some on the other side, but I'm going to save some so I can put some fresh barbecue sauce on the chicken breast after it's done cooking. While the chicken is out on the grill, I'm going to make the last thing that's going to be part of the meal tonight, and that's going to be some rice to go with the chicken. And rice is another one of those things that's extremely easy. Like I said, into the joy of eating, not into the joy of cooking. So I'm going to start out with a cup of rice, and then I'm going to add exactly the same amount of water. So cup of rice, cup of water. Now hold on, I'm going to stir this around. This is probably not necessary, but it's one of those things I do just to make sure the rice is all down in the water. Now, this just simply goes in the microwave. I'm going to put it in for about 5 minutes, then check it and see if the water has been absorbed into the rice and if the rice has gotten soft. If not, then I'll start the microwave back up and keep it going for a couple of more minutes. I like my rice, I guess, a little underdone. I like it to be just a little bit chewy. Again, you can do this however you want. If you want it to be softer, just keep it in there a little bit longer. If it starts to get kind of dry, put just a little bit more water in there. And later on, we'll pull this out of the microwave and I'll show you the last couple of touches I'm going to give to the rice. And here goes the rice into the microwave for 5 minutes. And it's probably going to need another 2 or 3 minutes after that. I'll check it at 5 minutes. And as I said, if it's soft enough for my preference, then it'll be done there. If not, I'll give it another 2 or 3 minutes and see how it is after that. So the rice is right where I like it. I put it in for the initial 5 minutes, checked it, still too hard. I put it in for another 2 minutes, checked it again, still needed a little bit more, gave another 2 minutes, and it's just about right. So now it's time to give the rice a little pizzazz. And I'm going to do that with some butter. And this is salted butter. If you are not on a salt-restricted diet, use salted butter. And remember, everything is better with butter. So I'm going to put that in there. And I've also got this stuff. You can use any type of salt, pepper, whatever you like. But this is called Everything But the Leftovers. And it's a heavily garlic type of a seasoning, but it's also got some salt and some pepper and some other things. And I'm going to shake that in pretty well. I like garlic, by the way. And now I'm just going to stir it all around. And the butter, of course, will melt. The seasoning will get well distributed throughout the rice. And now I'm just going to put the lid on and leave it there until we're ready for it. Okay, time to turn it over. How about that? And apply the Sweet Baby Rays to the other side. And by the way, I wish you were all here to smell this. It smells divine. This is going to be fabulous. All right, folks. I think it's time to pull this baby off the grill. I'm going to give it one last layer of barbecue sauce, just so I have some fresh on there. You can see the rest of it that's all cooked down onto the chicken breast. Let me pull that off now. How about that? So there you go, gang. That's my barbecue chicken recipe. It is extremely easy. Believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. So until next time, good cooking. Bye-bye.